Wanna play?
Here's Johnny!
I need a bigger boat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wanna Play. My name is James McKenna, and today I just came back from the movie theaters for the first time in like 2 years because I watched Saw Spiral. So, because of the new release of the new Saw movie, I decided to re-rank the Saw movies. I actually went back and rewatched all of the Saw movies leading up in preparation for this video, so I can give you my clear 100% opinion on these movies. And of course, I'm going to be including the new movie, Saw Spiral. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So coming in last place, no surprise here, it's Jigsaw. It's still Jigsaw. There's nothing else that can really be last place because, I mean, this movie is just so illogical. Like, if you're in it for the kills, then you might like it, but the minute you start dissecting the plot, everything just goes like just deflates like a balloon. None of it makes any sense. There's like a bit where there's a guy, he's like in the hospital, and then within like 2 hours somebody has like dug up John Kramer's grave, put him in it, and like put it back down and like meticulously cut the grass and like made sure that it looks spot on and completely perfect. It made no sense at all whatsoever. There was a couple of like okay moments within the film, but it's completely illogical. The reveal that like, oh, John Kramer's scenes were flashback scenes, despite the fact that he looks so much older than he was even in the previous Saw movie. Like, oh, this movie makes no sense. It's an easy pick for last place. And this is where I differ from most people, because instead of Saw 3D coming in at number 8, coming in at number 8 for me is Saw 5. Saw 5 to me just doesn't really bring anything new to the series. It's just a standard average Saw movie. It's just like, here are your characters, here are the traps, go. The reveal in the end isn't really the best reveal. It's like, oh, they could have all survived this. They just chose to kill each other. Like, I literally was going through the movie like, why don't they just like go in that thing? It was a pretty obvious twist, but there were some cool kills in this film. Like, there were some cool traps. I really like the one where there's like the blade and it's like sawing through like their hand and it goes like through their arm and stuff. Oh, that was a really good and standout trap, but the characters just don't have that much of an impact as some of the other characters in the franchise. Like, there's no Dr. Lin, there's no like Lawrence Gordon in this. Everybody's like super generic, super bland, like they're here for this reason, go. John Kramer doesn't really have anything to do that's memorable or stand out in this movie, so for me, it comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Saw 4. To me, Saw 4 is just the most forgettable movie in the series. Whereas Saw 5 was bland, this one was just a little bit more forgettable, other than some key standout scenes. Of course, one of the best scenes and one of the best kills in the series is the guy who gets his like head crushed in with the ice. It's such an insane kill, and plus, I thought the reveal in the end was pretty cool. The fact that it was all going on at the same time as Saw 3, like, I don't think any other franchises have ever done that. Like, oh yeah, this movie was also happening while this movie is happening. Like, it's a pretty cool reveal, and there are just a lot of cool moments. As I said though, it is pretty forgettable. It's not one of the more standout movies in the series, so for me it comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is Saw 6. Saw 6 is one of the best later entries in the series. Saw 6 is awesome. I feel like there's a lot of cool scenes and a lot of cool and memorable traps. Mark Hoffman as the Jigsaw Killer is at his best here. This is easily the best Mark Hoffman. It's got one of my favorite scenes where they're like dissecting the John Kramer voice, and it turns out to be him, and he turns around with his knife and just like stabs them, and like stabs the girl repeatedly in the chest. It's an awesome, really cool moment, and there are also a lot of really cool traps in the series. Saw 6 is really good, it's really gory, it's really brutal, and it's one of the better Saw movies. So for me, it comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, don't kill me for putting this under Saw 3D, but number 5 is Spiral. The brand new movie Spiral. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not one of my favorite movies, but I did enjoy it a lot. I thought Chris Rock had an incredible performance in the film. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, so if you don't want this to be spoiled, then skip ahead until the next entry, but Chris Rock did an amazing job playing so many different emotions throughout the film. The ending was absolutely insane. Samuel L. Jackson was like stringed up to this thing, and the cops busted in and shot him, and it was crazy. And also, I love the opening kill. The opening kill where the guy gets hit by a train is freaking insane, but the reason why this comes down this low is because what was that Jigsaw voice? Like, the reason why Saw worked, or at least one of the best reasons why Saw worked, is because Jigsaw was so cool and his voice was so recognizable. This guy, he turned on the table, he's like, "Hello, I would like to play a game. I'm calling from the tech support and I need your IRS card." It's like, no, the voice was so dumb. It was, and I feel like the reveal also was a little bit too predictable for me. Like, I saw that Jigsaw Killer coming a mile away. I don't know if you did, but I kind of recognized it when they didn't actually show him die. I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna be the killer. So for me, Spiral, the brand new movie, comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 for me is Saw Part 7 3D, the final chapter. It's got a lot of freaking titles, but I really like this movie. A lot of people hate this movie. Like, this is most people's either last place or second to last place. But for me, I actually do kind of like it. There are a lot of standout kills and traps in the series. The opening kill, the one in public, although many people see that as like pointless, like why is that kill in public while every other kill is like in a garage somewhere? I thought it made for a pretty unique and cool thing in the series. Like, we had never seen that before, and that's why I thought that it worked. And also, I feel like the ending where the girl is like trapped on the thing, yes, it's a little bit pointless. Like, I don't know what she did to deserve this, but the kill was freaking awesome nonetheless. You can't deny that. Yes, she didn't deserve it, which is probably the reason why this doesn't actually end up any higher, is because there is a lot of points where I'm like, did this really need to happen? But those things that happened were still cool moments. Cool enough to put it up here at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Saw 3. Saw 3 was freaking awesome. These 3 next Saw movies are just like the A tier, the S tier, whatever you want to call them, Saw movies. Like, all of these movies are just so good. Some of the best sequels, one of the best movies in horror, and Saw 3 is just awesome. Only reason it's not any higher is because Jeff, his whole thing where he was really slow and he was basically, it looked like he was killing people on purpose. Jeff was pretty dumb, but I love Dr. Lynn, I loved Amanda, and I love John, and you get so much of them together in this film. I think this is the best iteration of all of those characters. They're all together. They're all just have so many awesome, cool scenes together. This is just an awesome movie from a John Kramer and Amanda perspective, but from the trap perspective and the guy going through the game, it was a little bit weak. So it comes in at number 3. And these next 2 I struggled hard with. Like, these were some difficult choices, these next 2. Where this list differs from my last list on the Saw series. Coming in at number 2 is the original Saw. Okay, The original Saw has always been my favorite Saw until I rewatched the movies. Saw is just so awesome. It is one of the best horror movies ever made. I think that this movie is awesome. Like, if there was a list where it's like a more generalized list, not just the Saw movies, this would come in higher than any of the other ones. This is just the best movie in the series, especially for the low budget, what they were able to do with it, and just the original concept and idea of the film was so awesome. I love how they set up the rules so they really could have all of these sequels go on after John died, only in the 3rd series. Like, that was all set up here. I thought the characters were really good. I thought the suspense was really good. There were some really scary scenes in the movie as well. Like, there were some really suspenseful and terrifying scenes in the film. But it is just such a good movie. I love all of the characters. Dr. Lawrence Gordon is so cool, and the other guy that's in the room is also pretty cool. I don't know why I don't remember his name, but I don't.
Adam!
And the ending. Oh my god, the ending. John Kramer gets up, you think he's dead the whole time, and he goes out, he says game over, slams the door. That is just so awesome. One of the coolest moments in all of horror. So Saw comes in at number 2. But coming in at number 1 is Saw 2. I think that Saw is a better movie in general, but if we're gonna rank just the Saw movies, this is the best Saw movie, because the first one is a little bit more like suspenseful, it's not entirely gory, it doesn't have all these traps, but Saw 2 has all these awesome traps. They're not too bloody and too over the top, they're all pretty realistic. There's only one that's a little bit weird, and that's like the gunshot through the door, through the eye thing. Like, that was a little bit like, I don't know, but the characters were awesome, and I think that it had the best reveal. Amanda being the freaking killer blew my mind, blew the minds of all of my friends that I was watching this with. It was so cool. The reveal was so awesome, and even now that I've seen the movie multiple times, the reveal still gets me because it's such a good reveal, and they did it in such an awesome way. Saw 2 is just so awesome. It's not a perfect movie, but in terms of the Saw series and the concept and what they did with it, Saw 2 has to come in at number 1. Thanks for watching my ranking on the Saw series. Let me know your ranking in the comments down below, and let me know what you thought about the new movie Spiral. I liked it. I don't know what other people are going to say about it. I can see people really hating it, but I can also see people really loving it. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm torn. There were a lot of really cool moments, but then there were a lot of really just weird moments that took me out of it, which is why it ended up more towards the middle of the list. But, as I said, let me know your ranking and thoughts on the series down below, and let me know what other series you want to see me rank. Next up is probably going to be The Purge, because the new movie is coming out, and I've been watching those movies in the lead up to that. So, next is probably going to be The Purge, if I had to put money on it, I guess. But, thank you for watching this. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to, if you're new here, and you can also follow me on Instagram at James from Wanna Play if you want to know more about, I guess, my personal life of horror. Every time I get something added to the setback here, or anytime I get a new movie or anything like that, I'll post it on my Instagram, so you can follow me over there. You don't have to though, but thank you for watching this video. Goodbye and good night. Bang.